Hello, everyone, and welcome back here to the Mayer Center on the campus of the University of Dallas for our final game today of our three-game series between the University of Dallas Crusaders, Centenary College of Louisiana, and Austin College. Centenary played the beginning game today at noon against the Crusaders. Dallas won that game 3-0. The second game was between Austin and Centenary, which Austin College won. They won that one 3-1. And now, to wrap up, it'll be the Crusaders again against Austin College. And so, just to remind you, coming into the game today, Dallas is now 5-6 on the year. Winning earlier against Centenary was their first win of the last several, as they had been on a little bit of a losing streak. They had lost 5 in a row to St. Thomas, Southern Arkansas, Hendricks, Hardin-Simmons, and LeTourneau before beating Centenary earlier. And on Austin College's side, they are now 10-1 and have gone on their second 5-game winning streak of the season. The only game they've lost was to Westminster back on Friday, September 10th. And since then, they have beaten Rhodes, Huntington, Rust, Howard Payne, and then a little while ago, Centenary. So as we take a look at the last time these two teams played, they played in the spring during the shortened 2020-2021 spring season. And Austin College won both of those at home, 3-0 and 3-0. And the last time that these two teams played here at the Mayer Center, I believe you have to go back to 2019. Which the Crusaders won that one back in September of 2019. They won that one 3-2. And we had some close ones in that one. They went to extra points twice. Austin winning the first set in that series, in that game against Dallas in 2019. They won the first set 25-21. Then won the second set 25-19. Then Dallas down 2-0. Hung on and won in extra points 27-25. Winning commandingly in the fourth set, 25-12, and then narrowly by the thinnest margin possible, 16-14 in the fifth set. Dallas winning against the Roos the last time that they played here in Irving. So as we also take a look at some of our stat leaders from our earlier games today, Deja White, 11 kills for the Crusaders on 20 attacks. Cassie Dayoub, 10 kills on 11 attacks. And for Austin College, in their first game earlier, Victoria Smith with 12 kills on 32 attacks, and Riley Abernathy, 10 kills on 27 attacks. So we're about ready to have the starting lineups be announced. And so we will step aside until they have been announced. And I'd like to thank you for everyone who has stayed for all 3 matches today. And here is the starting lineups for tonight's game. Well, the starting lineups again for our 2 squads tonight. For Austin College, it'll be number 1, Victoria Smith. Number 2, Brooklyn Talley. Number 9, Maddie Duncan. Number 14, Riley Abernethy. Number 16, Cheyenne D'Antonio. Number 19, Olivia Linton. And the libero is number 5, Mary Prazik. For the Crusaders, their starting lineup tonight, it will be number 7, Abby Medico. Number 8, Chloe Ilogin. Number 11, Larissa Ramirez. Number 12, Cassie Dayub. Number 13, Andriella Wagner. Number 18, Deja White. And the libero is number 6, Elise Annabelle. Crusaders in blue with the white libero, and the Roos in black with also the white libero. Dallas attacking left to right. Austin right to left. As the student section of the Crusaders has become jam-packed in the last few minutes. It is Crusader blue out night tonight. And this is really the first time in close to 2 years now that the Mayer Center has actually felt like the Mayer Center. As here we go. Attack by Wagner is defended by Austin College. Dayub with the dink is easily defended by Talley. Attack and point scored by Abernethy. And this building has been known to get very loud, and with an entirely packed student section, most of whom I noticed were Crusader athletes. When the Crusaders, as they give up the point there, when the Crusaders do finally score a point, this place is going to erupt and it's going to get loud. Service by Abernethy. Dayub with the attack, defended by Prazik. Annabelle with the dig. Medico is on the line. And a point for the Crusaders. And a point scored by Smith. Smith by far the tallest out there on either team, 6'3". Smith from just a little bit north of here, from Carrollton, Texas. Sophomore at Austin College. As Dallas will have the serve, Elise Annable. Attack is stopped at the net, popped up in the air. Rachel Firm with the attack, but an error called. And so point goes to Austin College. 4-2 our score. Austin College to serve. It will be Sang. Sang with the serve and not able to get enough under it. It falls short into the net. And a service error for Austin College. Point to Dallas as Abby Medico will serve. Blocked at the net by Dallas. Blocked again by Dallas. Deja White with the attack, defended by Austin. Now attack from the other side, Abernethy. Isabel Garcia now, popped up in the air by Austin. And just having to get it over, and it hits off of the antenna. Point for Dallas. Medico to serve. Attack by Fultz. And that's going to skip off of Sang. Garcia with the kill. Attack into the net. Attacking error on Austin College. Dallas now with a 6-4 lead. Sang accidentally puts it over, but it works out anyway. As Linton comes out, Chloe Miller, number 17, comes in. And a point for Dallas. As Chloe Ilogin will come into the game for Rachel Firm. Chloe Ilogin serving from the far side and serves it straight into the net. Serve is by Duncan. Dayub with the attack. Dig by Duncan. Ball being set up for Garcia as that's off the block attempt by D'Antonio. It goes out of bounds and a point for Dallas. Deja White with the standing serve. Far side attack by the Roos, as that will be a point for Dallas. 9-6 the score. As that ball is on the net, Wagner just taps it straight down. Gets the point. Deja White pops it up. Near side attack by Garcia as that's blocked, but I think an error was called. I don't know if it was they reached over, if the ball was still on the Crusader side, or if they touched the net. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout, so Dallas jumping out ahead in this one, 11-6. Having better early success against Austin than they did against Centenary earlier. As that first set, both of our first sets today were close pretty much the whole time. But especially in the first game, it was close right up until about the end before Centenary pulled away, and then Dallas came back down 4 at set point. So just a short timeout, both teams out with a decent amount of time left to go. So 11-6 our score. Deja White serving from the far side. Attack, and that's going to be a point for Austin College. That was Abernethy. As Talley and Smith come in for Sang and Fultz. Serve by Talley. Dayub on the far side. She is blocked, but the block goes out of bounds. And a point for Dallas. Garcia on the serve, popped up in the air by Abernethy. Abernethy now with the attack. Ball stopped at the net, blocked over, put back, and now a point for Dallas as that skipped off of someone's fingertips. I didn't quite catch who, but it was tipped by Austin College, and the point goes to the Crusaders. 13-7 our score as that's blocked. Victoria Smith on the attack, blocked at the net by Wagner and Dayub. That'll be set up and an attacking error as that goes into the net. Abernethy. Picked up by Dallas. Dayub just puts it over. Not a great attack. Wagner now. She'll get it to go for the point. As the Roos were scrambling, good effort to just get an arm on it, but they had absolutely no control. And so Dallas scores the point. And a couple of hard attacks by Austin College. First by Smith, then D'Antonio. And Isabel Garcia just fighting for her life as both of those came straight at her. Doing all she could to just throw her arms up and pop it in the air. As Dayub gets the spike and the kill. And Firm back into the game. Ilogan will come out. 17-8. Ball off of the net, and well, I thought that would have been 4 hits on Austin, but it is gonna keep going, and that's gonna go out of bounds off of Dallas. So point to Austin College. Duncan back into the game. Firm pops it up. Ball comes back to Firm on the attack. Now Smith. Her attack is defended. Wagner now, she's blocked. And point goes to Austin College. Medico with the attack. Austin College trying to set up Smith, but not a great setup. As that is going to be hit long and out of bounds by Dayoub. So Dallas trying to stop this short run of Austin College as that's hit and a kill for the Roos. So 17-12 our score as Austin College on a little bit of a run right here. 4 straight points, I believe. Now 3 straight points. Trying to get some more. As Wagner right down the middle. Nobody there and finding an open space in the floor. Taking an 8-12 lead. 18-12 lead. As that is mishit by Smith. Attack by Smith, cross court, out of bounds. And that will be a point for Dallas. So after 3 straight points by Austin, 3 straight points now by Dallas. 8-point lead, getting close to the magical 25. As Austin College is going to attempt to set up Smith. Attack defended. And point for Austin. Ball set up for Linton as she's gonna mishit that. Attacking error. Point for Dallas as Abby Medico will serve. Ball hit out of bounds. Attacking error by Linton. As Dallas inching closer now with a 9-point lead, 3 points away from another first set win as that's going to be a service error out of bounds. Sub into the game is Chloe Miller. Leaving is Linton. And Chloe Miller will be taking the serve. Popped up in the air by Dayoub. Deja White on the attack. That's stopped at the net. Dallas with another attack attempt, and it's going to be a violation on Garcia. Point for Dallas as a login will come back in for Firm. Attack by Garcia is defended by LaRue's. Ball tipped by the blockers and mistimed there by Deja White, as Austin College will get that point. Prazik comes out. D'Antonio comes in. And service error by Fultz, as Dallas now 1 point away from taking set number 1. Every team so far today who has won the first set has gone on to win. As that was nearly bungled by the Roos, and the attack and the kill by Dallas. That was, I think, Dayoub again, who has had the finishing point every set so far for the Crusaders. And so Dallas taking that first set 25-16. As we will have our first set stats in just a minute. And so as we have this pause in the action, we'd like to remind you once again, for all you Crusader fans joining us today, that you can get all of your University of Dallas information and statistics at udallasathletics.com. And also, for all of you SCAC sports fans out there, make sure you stay current on all of the sports across all of the teams of the SCAC at scacsports.com. Catch up on all of your news, scores, schedules, and standings, scacsports.com. So Dallas playing a lot better in this first set compared to the first set against Centenary. Now, definitely several things working in the Crusaders' favor. Among them, the Crusaders they had a little bit of a break earlier, and they had have the home crowd. They have the student section, a lot of high energy from the students so far. And so it's been going very well for Dallas. Austin College, who had to fight out the first couple of sets against Centenary, went on to win pretty handily in the fourth set, but having to play back-to-back games, not really having a whole lot of a rest in between, could be wearing on them a little bit. We'll see how they come out in the second set. And so we are getting close to the beginning of set number 2. Dallas waiting for Austin as Austin makes their way back out onto the floor. So the 6 on the floor for Austin, it will be Smith, Talley, Prazik, D'Antonio, Linton, and Abernethy. And for the Crusaders, Annabelle, Ilogin, Medico, Wagner, Ramirez, and Dayoub to start the second set, and starting out almost identically to how set number 1 started out, with Austin College getting the first point. And the second point for Austin College, as we read you the stats for the first set at our next timeout. Wagner with the attack. And that hits off of D'Antonio and goes out of bounds. Firm and making her first appearance of the day is number 1, Savannah Walker. Walker listed on the roster as a defensive specialist. Senior from San Antonio, Texas, as Dallas gets that point. Tipping off of Austin College. Abernethy on the attack, tips off of the defending wall. Medico now, as that will skip off the hands of Talley. And just like that, Dallas retakes the lead. Although it is the first lead of this set. They've been leading for the most part in this entire match so far, as Smith with the attack, defended by Walker, and Medico puts it over. And miscommunication there between Annabelle and Wagner as that ball popped up high in the air. Plenty of time for someone to get it, but Dallas making a mistake. And the point goes to Austin College and Abernethy. As that is hit long out of bounds. Point for the Crusaders, as Elise Annabelle will take this serve. And that's going to tip off of Austin College. Another point for Dallas. 5-3 lead. Ramirez sets up firm, blocked by D'Antonio, blocked again by Abernethy. Ball be set up for Abernethy, as that was Linton. And finally getting it over is Victoria Smith, dinking it over the wall. And a point for Austin College. 5-4 now our score after that long rally. as Mary Prazik will take this next serve. Prazik. Dig by Dayu, but the dig goes over. Smith tipped off of the fingertips of Furman White, and the kill by White. Four hits by Austin College, so point goes to Dallas. 7-4. Medico with the serve. Abby Medico, the jump serve from the near side. Ball popped up and down. A cross-court attack by Victoria Smith, and the point for Austin College as Fultz and Sang come back in the game. Sang to serve. Attacked by Deja White, and that gets down. That is a kill and a point. Firm coming out of the game. Iloggin in, and Iloggin will serve. Isabel Garcia with the attack, and that is going to be out of bounds past the sideline, as Chloe Miller comes in for Olivia Linton. Garcia with the attack again, but Sang is able to get behind it. Attack from the far side by Fultz. Dayoub now, and that is an error on Austin College. 9-6-hour score. Deja White to serve. Just skips off the top of the net, but easily handled by Austin College. Dayoub from the far side. Near side attack, Garcia, popped in the air by Praza. Quick over by Sang. Ball on the net as Dayoub got it over, but it's kept alive by Austin College. Wagner now, that's tipped, kept alive. Sang has to just bump it over. Garcia now with the attack, and out of bounds. No tip by Austin College. And so the Roos will get the serve back. Duncan, and that's going to be tipped out of bounds. Cassie Dayoub with the attack. Getting the kill as that ricochets off of the defenders. And Chloe Miller diving for the ball. Got a hand on it, but it's a little bit too low for anyone to do anything, so Sang tried to kick it. And a point for Austin College as Talley and Smith come back in. Fultz and Sang leave. Dayoub with the attack, tries to dink it over, but good recovery by Abernathy. And that time Dallas the ball's still going. Wagner now, she's blocked. But an error is called on Austin College. And now Tally goes over to talk to the head official. Savannah Walker, the lefty with the serve. Far side attack. Abernathy defended by Ramirez. Firm with the attack. Finding the gap in the floor. (13-8), our score in the second set. Dallas with the lead, blocked by Wagner and Medico. Smith now at the attack, diving stop by Walker. Firm with the attack. Now Smith again as that's out of bounds. Past the sideline and a point for Dallas. Walker is standing serve. Attack is stopped by Wagner. Smith over. Wagner got a hand on it again. Another attack by Smith and blocked by Medico and Wagner. 3 straight times Wagner was in on the block, but I think that actually hit Medico on that last attempt. But Wagner will still probably get at least a block assist, and she was right there, and typically what the official scorer will do. And so while we finally have a timeout, we'll give you the first set stats. So for the Crusaders, they had 35 attacks, 13 kills, 5 attacking errors, and hit .229 with 12 assists and 21 digs. They also had 3 service aces, 1 service error, 2 solo blocks, and 1 solo block and 2 block assists for 2 total team blocks. For Austin College, they had 37 total attacks, 6 kills, 6 attacking errors, and that point will go to Austin College, with 3 assists and 14 digs, as well as 1 service ace, 2 service errors, and 2 block assists for 1 total team block. So 15-9 our score. Dayub with the attack as she hits it straight into the net. (15-10) our score here in set number 2. Dallas with a 1-0 lead. Medico with the attack. That is popped in the air, and that will be a point for the Crusaders, as there wasn't a whole lot of control on the bump off of the attack by Dallas. Brooklyn Talley charged after it, but she was unable to get under it and get position on it, as that attack across court is in for a kill by Smith. Deja White with the attack off the arms of Krasick and into the Austin College bench, as Isabel Garcia will come in for Larissa Ramirez. 17-11 our score. As Abby Medical with the serve and serves it into the net for a service error. And here comes Fultz and Sang in for Smith and Talley. Austin College still within striking distance, but they do have a little bit of work to do, down by 5 and over by Fultz. Dallas now setting up the attack. Garcia defended by Prazik, now going the other way, defended by Dallas. Firm into the net, and that will be an attacking error. And a timeout. And so gave you the team stats for the first set. Here are the individual stats, as Cassie Dayoub led all players in both attacks and kills with 10 and 6 in the first set. No attacking error, so she was hitting 600 in that first set, which is absolutely amazing. 300, I've been told by those who know volleyball better than myself, 300, very much like baseball, is considered good. So, granted, it's only been in one set, but 600 is quite something. On the other side, Olivia Linton also had 10 attacks. She had just 2 kills and also 2 attacking errors. No one else, after Dayoub, no one else had more than 2 kills for either team. Abernethy and Linton both had 2, and then Wagner and Garcia each had 2. Everyone else who had 1 only had 1. And the point for Dallas. 18-13 our score, as a login will come in for Firm. And the login will take the serve. And serves it straight into the net. Chloe Miller racing to get to that one and hit over and out of bounds by Austin College. Dallas has been holding pretty steady with that 5-point lead. They haven't let Austin College get much closer. They have gotten it down to 4 a couple times recently, but Dallas keeping Austin at arm's length as they score another one and go up 20-14. Attack from the far side is Fultz, defended by Dallas. Garcia now from the near side. Prazik pops it up in the air. Over by Abernethy, and that will be a point for Austin College. Maddie Duncan to serve. And Dayoub with the attack. She's blocked by Fultz and D'Antonio. As Austin College gets it down to 4. Each team with the timeout left here in this second set. And that will be a point on the service error by Austin College. I would be willing to bet that sometime in the next point or two, someone is going to call timeout, as that's popped up in the air by Sang. Dayub is blocked, but it goes out of bounds, and so point to Dallas. Fultz and D'Antonio were right there on the block. As Garcia lofts it over, and it was almost effective, as it was going for a soft spot, but Austin College able to recover. And we have some chaos from the subs attempting to come in. Ramirez in for Garcia. Talley and Smith in for Sang and Fultz. Serve by Talley. Dayub on the attack. Talley setting up Smith, and that will be a point for the Roos. Talley with the serve. And trying to get it over unsuccessfully, as defenders were waiting for Abby Medico with the attack attempt, as it's now down to a 3-point game. And Wagner with the attack. Smith now just has to put it over. Dayub now, block at the net, and that's going to land on the Crusader side. Point for Austin College, as Coach Troutman is arranging the defense on the back side. Dayub with the attack. Diving play by Prazik. Ball set up for Medico. That's blocked, and point for Austin College. And finally, the timeout comes a little bit later than I thought it would have. I thought Coach Troutman would have called timeout maybe a point or two ago. So Dallas's second set lead now has been reduced to as thin as you can get, 1 point. Austin College on a run here late in the second set. 22-21. Attack by Medico. Near side, Abernethy popped up into the air. Almost a disaster for the Crusaders, but they're able to get it back over. Now a little bit of a miscommunication on Austin College's side, as Medico with the attack. Diving stop to her right by Prazik, and the attack and kill by Abernethy. As Austin College comes all the way back, down by as many as 6 in this set, and they tie it 22-22. Medico with the attack, as they'll get another chance here. Medico again, and that will fall in on the Austin College side. Smith and D'Antonio were on the block attempt, but it bounced off of their arms straight down onto their side of the floor. And so Dallas finally gets the lead back and tied right back by Austin College, 23-23, as Linton comes in for Chloe Miller. Served by Abernethy as Ramirez, quick attack over. And that will be a kill for Austin College. Linton with the kill. And now they're just 1 point away from evening at 1-1. And this is the kind of game that we've seen a lot between the Crusaders and the Roos. Firm with the attack and kept alive by Austin. Prazik just has to put it over. Wagner is blocked. Medico finally gets the point. And so extra points needed to settle this one. 24-24 our score, and Elise Annabelle to serve. Quick over by Talley. Tried to take the Crusaders off guard, but able to respond. Now with another soft attack. Trying to find the gap, but the Crusaders got to that one too. Hard attack now by Smith, and that one will find its mark. Point for Austin as they're at set point again. 25-24. Prazik to serve. Rachel Firm with the attack. Dig by Prazik. Setting up. And the kill for Linton. And Austin College evens it up 1-1. So the Crusaders, who looked like they were going to go up 2-0 and have a commanding lead, now fall in the second set as Austin College coming back by down as many as 6 during that second set. And so big win in that set for Austin College, evening it at 1-1. And so the odd number sets, always important sets. In volleyball, we'll see how both of these teams come out. If Dallas is able to respond and get control back, or if the momentum is turning to the side of Austin College. And so our second set stats. So for Austin College, they had 55 attacks, 13 kills, 5 attacking errors, and hit 145. They also had 12 assists with 25 digs, 1 attacking, 1 service ace, 1 service error, and 5 total team blocks, 2 solo blocks with 6 block assists. And on the Crusader side, they had 59 attacks, 17 kills, 8 attacking errors, hit 153. 16 assists with 27 digs. No solo blocks with 2 block assists for 1 total team block. And our leaders in offense for the second set, Victoria Smith with 16 attacks for Austin College, 7 kills for Riley Abernathy, and on the Crusader side, Abby Medico in both attacks and kills with 18 and 5. Cassie Dayub, as I was mentioning, how well in the first set she did, went the other way in the second set. She did have 13 attacks, but just 3 kills and 4 attacking errors, so she went from hitting 600 in the first set to hitting negative 077 in the second set. And so right now, I don't have the full game stats in front of me. I think that would put her around 280 right now between her first set and her second set. But we'll also look on the defensive side, and Mary Prazik being given a workout so far. 14 digs in that second set. Double the amount of digs by anyone else in that second set. The next most was Elise Annable with 7. And so we are off and running again in set number 3. We are deadlocked 1-1. And somehow that ball stayed alive. And that will be a point for Austin College, I believe. There's an error called on the play. So staying true to form so far. Austin College scoring the first point in every set. Dallas evening it at 1. Medico with the attack, dig by Prazik. Smith finding a lane and getting the point for the Roos. So 2-1, Austin College. Prazik to serve, as that will be a service error. Medico serving from the near side. Dallas on the attack. Deja White's attack is stopped. And that's going to skip off of Savannah Walker. That was Olivia Linton with the attack and the kill. Deja White trying to dink it over, but Prazik up to the task again. Garcia now. That's popped up in the air. Linton. Dig by Annabelle. Garcia on the attack as that's going to be kept alive by Austin. Garcia, another attack now from deep on the Crusader side. Tipped up at the net, and point for Austin College. Not a good decision there by Isabel Garcia, as that was on the bruised side of the net. Needed to let that one go. And so Austin College getting the point, and service error by Sang. That goes out of bounds just outside of the far sideline. So Chloe Logan back in, and she'll take the serve from the far side. Ball to Dayoub with the attack. She's blocked. Dayoub, one arm popping it back into the air. Sang trying to set up Duncan. Now Garcia with the attack and the kill. Ricocheting off of Linton and Duncan. Attack over by Linton. And the point goes to Austin College as Chloe Miller comes back into the game. (6-5) our score. And kill at the net by Duncan. Dayoub on the attack as that's popped up back onto the Crusader side by accident. Austin College now, and that's going to be an error on Austin College. Point goes to Dallas as Deja White will take this next serve. Abernethy blocked at the net. Duncan, her attack is stopped. Dayoub now has to just pop it over. Sang sets up Fultz, and Dallas defends. Garcia with the attack. Dig by Prazik. Abernethy. Ball makes its way to White. Dayoub from the far side. And finally, the point goes to Austin College as Fultz with the cross-court attack. Medico unable to handle it. And 8-6 the score. Serving from more or less down the middle, Maddie Duncan hits it out of bounds. And Mary Prazik, who's been having an excellent game defensively tonight, comes back in. Medico to Garcia with the attack. Prazik pops it up. Medico now to Dayoub, and an error by Dallas. So subs in, it will be Talley and Smith as Fultz and Sang come out. Attack by Abernethy is blocked at the net by Wagner and Dioub. Popped up in the air and unable to get a firm handle on it. As that will be a point for the Roos. Abernethy to serve, taking it from the far side. Firm with the attack. Firm finds an open spot on the floor, getting the point, and brings it to a 2-point game, 11-9. Elise Annable to serve. Deja White with the attack. Talley gets a hand on it. And that will be hit out of bounds by Austin College. Point for Dallas. As we've been going back and forth between about 2 and 3 points the last few points. And that's going to be a service error out of bounds as Sang and Fultz will come back into the game. Talley and Smith come out. Sang with the serve. Almost a service ace, but Walker got just enough under it. Quick over by Medico, as that's blocked at the net by Firm and Deja White. Garcia now with the attack. Quick over and kept alive, but not enough. As Medico, Annable, and White all got their hands on it, but White on the crucial last hit, not able to get enough power underneath the ball to get it over the net. And it may not have mattered anyway because there were Roos lurking in wait right in front of the net to spike it down in case it did get over. And so Chloe Logan comes out, Rachel Firm comes in. And served right into the net. Service error by Ilogan. As Chloe Miller comes back in to take this serve. Going out goes Linton. And a service ace by Miller. As timeout is called and the Roos beginning to stretch that lead. This, I believe, is the largest lead of the set so far at 5. And so the Crusaders, who are the ones who called the timeout, are quickly back out waiting on the floor. Coach Kelly, I think, just wanting to interrupt the flow of things. Not needing to say a whole lot to her team right now, but Coach Garza taking a little bit more time. and using more of that timeout, using about a minute. As the timeout ends a little bit early, and Dallas coming back quickly on the attack. Diube, her attack is stopped. False on the far side, blocked at the net. Diube and White were right there. Blocked again. This time it's White and Garcia. (16-12) the score. Dallas scoring out of the timeout. Diube on the attack, and that's down right on the line. Right about where that blue three-point line for basketball meets the volleyball line. Sang trying to set up and successfully setting up Duncan, who dinks it over, getting it inside, just inside the near sideline on the front end of the cross line of the volleyball court. Garcia with the attack, skipping off of Sang. And a point for Dallas. So Duncan goes out. Prazik comes back in as that's on the net. Not a good offensive attack that time by Austin College as Wagner tries to dink it over. The login with the dig. Garcia now with the attack, and that's going to go long. So we've been going back at this point perpetually in these about 3-point differences between Dallas and Austin College. Right now a 4-point lead for Austin College. And they get it back up to 5. Brooklyn Talley to serve. And she serves it straight into the net. Walker and Firm coming in for Diube and Ilogin. Ball over and over again by Abernethy, as that's going to go out of bounds long. Linton back in for Austin College. Diube in for Walker. And serve on the way from Abernethy. And a service error as Wagner comes out. Deja White comes back in. And the ball shagger not paying attention is being yelled at by pretty much everyone to give the Crusaders the ball for the serve. As we're underway again. Smith with the attack, as that's going to go off of the hands of Ramirez. And a point for Austin College as they send it back up to 5. Prazik with the serve. Firm pops it up, and that actually might have been going out of bounds. Smith with the attack. Deja White now popped up on the back line by Abernethy. Smith attack again, and that's going to be down. And so Austin College getting very close to taking this third set and putting themselves in a good spot to try to win. Trying to take what would at this point be their third straight match against Dallas, as that is mishit by the Crusaders and a point for Austin College. Prazik on the serve. Deja White is going to hit it long. Deja White appealing that it was tipped, but not given by the officials. And so it'll be set point for Austin College, as Prazik has the serve, and Deja White gets the kill. 7-point game, a very long way for the Crusaders to have to go with no wiggle room whatsoever. They have to score every point from here on out to try to keep this set alive, and that now makes 2 in a row. So Abby Medico to serve. And timeout called by Coach Garza. So 24-18 our score. And so while we have this pause in the action, while we are done with our current sports of the day on our SCAC scoreboard, we will nonetheless take a look at what tomorrow will be. So tomorrow there are a few events going on. In men's soccer, in Kerrville, Colorado College will be playing Schreiner at 11 a.m. tomorrow. St. Thomas will travel to Seguin to play Texas Lutheran. And Centenary goes to Georgetown to play Southwestern. All of that is men's soccer. And we'll continue that in just a moment as we are back going again. And that will be the set point for set number 3 as Austin College goes up 2-1. So our other events tomorrow, we have some men's tennis at the ITA Regional in San Antonio. Southwestern, Austin, Trinity, and St. Thomas all playing tomorrow. And then in women's soccer, Trinity will be playing Farmingdale State at 10 a.m. tomorrow on the road. Centenary in Georgetown against Southwestern at noon, and St. Thomas against TOU at noon. And it is, in fact, confirmed the game that the Crusaders were supposed to play tomorrow against McMurray, which was a rescheduled game, has been canceled. So Austin College up 2-1 on Dallas. As we go towards set number 4, and it is far from over. The Crusaders and the Roos have had a number of matches in the past where teams have made comeback. There have been a couple where there were, in recent years, where it was a 2-0 comeback. As mentioned back in 2019, that was a 2-0 comeback by Dallas. And so it is not at all inconceivable that we could see Dallas rally back and force this to a set number 5. But Dallas is definitely going to have to play better than they did in set number 3. They weren't entirely crisp, so to speak, in that last set. They came out very strong in set number 1. Fell apart right at the end in set number 2 and just were never really able to recover at all in set number 3. And so, immediately looking at the stats, one thing that jumps out absolutely immediately, Austin College hitting 220 for that third set. Dallas hitting just 0.27. And so the rest of the stats, Austin had 41 attacks in that third set, 13 kills, 4 attacking errors with the aforementioned 220 hitting percentage, 11 assists, 20 digs, 3 service aces, 6 service errors, and no blocks. But they did have a blocking error in that third set. For Dallas, 37 attacks, 6 kills, 5 attacking errors, hitting 0.27 with 6 assists and 18 digs, as well as 1 service ace and 4 service errors. A lot of service errors in that last set by both teams. And then 4 block assists with a blocking error. So 2 total team blocks in that last set. Cassie Dayoub, who came out firing in the first set, tailed off a little bit in the second set, was almost nowhere to be seen in this last set. Just 1 kill and 1 attacking error. She did have 6 attacks, but White, Garcia, and Medico all had more in that last set. On the other side, as Dallas gets the first point of set number 4. On Austin College's side, Smith and Abernathy each had 10 attacks, and Maddie Duncan right behind both of them with 9. And Abernathy also had 10 digs in the second set, giving Mary Pradzik a little bit of a break from doing all the defensive work, although she did still have 4. And so Dallas scoring the first 2 points of this fourth set. And then Austin College scoring just now to make it 2-1. Abernathy on the serve. And Dallas hits it out of bounds. New player for the Crusaders, number 5, Alyssa Stinnett. As I think everyone else on either team who are currently in have played in the rest of the game. So Stinnett making her first appearance of the day for Dallas, coming all the way in set number 4 of game number 3 of the day. Second game of the day for Dallas, as that is a service error and a tie game again. Elise Annabelle on the serve. Pradzik with the dig. Attack. And ball off the ceiling, through the rafters, and hit over by Deja White. And attack at the net is going to be a kill by Austin College. Attempted block by the Crusaders, but it falls unfavorably for Dallas. And a 4-3 lead for Austin College as Dayoub pops it up. Attack and too long by Deja White. And another point for Austin College. Now 3 in a row. Attack by Medico as that caroms off of Linton out of bounds. Ramirez comes out of the game for Dallas. Garcia comes in. Attack straight down by Smith, and for a moment, it looked like Dallas had actually saved it, but no. As Fultz and Sang come back in. Sang with the serve. Deja White with the attack, and it gets down just on the line, on the sideline, as Walker comes in for Stennett. And Savannah Walker with the serve. Dig by Prazik. Attack by Duncan, and that's going to be a point for the Roos as Chloe Miller comes in for Linton. Dayoub with the attack off the fingertips of the defenders. And an attack and a kill for Abernethy. As Austin College more and more asserting control of this game. And this hit by Dayoub. And a now 5-point lead for Austin College, still fairly early in this fourth set. Ball up in the air. Set up for Garcia as Prazik is there with the dig. And that's going to be mishandled by Austin College. And that one's going to get down. Point for Austin. Attack is blocked, but Dayoub gets it back over. Blocked again. Dallas keeping it alive. Dayoub with the attack and smacked down by D'Antonio. First time D'Antonio's name has been called in a while. And quick over by Medico. And Dallas thought it got down, but The officials say that Austin College got to it. And that finally goes out of bounds. And a point for Dallas. Ball at the net. Sang taps it over. Dayoub now, as that's going to go out of bounds past the end line. So Dallas trying to keep the game manageable at the moment. Needing to find a run. As Garcia makes the diving stop. Dayoub with the attack. Up in the air, off the ceiling, and point for Dallas. And today's unofficial MVP of the game, I do have to say, is the ceiling. The ceiling has been getting involved a lot. There's been at least 5 instances that I can recall that the ceiling has been involved in the game. At least twice in the current game, maybe as many as 3 times. And then the rest happening in the previous games today. Definitely makes it interesting with this relatively low ceiling, how many balls actually hit off of it and affect the course of play. Well, now it seems relatively insignificant, but that point was, I think, the second in what's currently a 3-point run by the Crusaders. And if somehow the Crusaders make a run and come back, you may be able to point to that instance of it hitting the ceiling. And imagine if you were playing with a much higher roof, how much different that could have affected the course of the game. But Austin College will get that point. And so far, it doesn't seem like the intervention of the ceiling is going to do much, as Austin College now has scored 2 in a row, bringing it back up to a 4-point lead, 14-10, as Abby Medico will get the point for the Crusaders, as Mary Prazik, throwing herself after the ball, gets to it, but unable to get a good hit on it, as Alyssa Stennett comes back in. As that gets down, kill by Abernethy. Dayoub attacking down the middle, as that's going to go off the wall, off the American flag, and a point for Dallas. Linton will get the kill, as that ball bouncing around amongst Crusaders and no one able to get a really good hit on it. So a 4-point lead now for Austin College. 16-12. Prazik on the serve, and Prazik with the service ace. And timeout by the Crusaders. So 17-12. Austin College inching closer to winning both of their games here today and continuing their current winning streak against the Crusaders. Dallas setting up Medico as that's going to be hit long. Attacking error by Dallas, 18-12 the score. Deja White with the attack. Right there to dig it is Linton. White again, and that's going to be out of bounds. Trying to hit it across court, but unable to find the line. Dink by White. That will set up Linton, and that's going to be long. I actually thought it did get down, but the end line official says it was long. So Medico with the serve. Abernethy with the diving stop. Dig now by Annabelle. And Garcia with the attack and kept alive over by Austin. Deja White now, and she finds the floor. Two in a row now for Dallas. As we have a player down for Austin College, it's Brooklyn Talley, number 2. And it's something that's wrong with her right leg. So it looks like Austin College is going to be sending in number 6, Aubrey McCoon. So adding Medico to serve again. McCoon trying to set up Duncan, but it's blocked by the Crusaders. Blocked again by the Crusaders. So this would be a really big point for Dallas if they can get it, and they do. Isabel Garcia hitting it off of Linton. Goes out of bounds and is a point for Dallas. So 19-15, Dallas has scored the last 3. Medico to serve, and another point for Dallas. As that with Abernethy trying to make the diving play. And time out by Coach Garza, trying to stem this tide. Austin College already having won a set in this match after being down big late in the set. Trying to avoid having it go the other way. Dallas on the other side having scored 4 in a row behind the serves of Abby Medico and trying to work their way back to first a tie and then eventually try to retake the lead. Trying to baby step their way back into the game. And first we'll see if they can bring it back to 2, or will Austin College finally turn around and get the point, and they do. Great play by Victoria Smith. Smith aiming for that far corner and just getting it in. Getting the point and bringing it back to 4 points. 5 away from a match win as Garcia with the attack. Deja White hits it over. Right there is Abernethy to get her hand on it. Duncan with the kill. And Austin College now just 4 points away. Sang serving it for the Roos. Linton blocked by White. White with the attack, and White right down the middle. Walker coming in for Stinnett. Dayub in for Ilogin. Very quick turnaround, as Dayub was really only out for about 1 play. Walker, and that might have been a mistake to stop that one. That looked like it was going out of bounds, but kept alive. Dallas now with the attack. Linton, dig by Annabelle. Garcia now tries to dink it over, stopped by Austin College, who quickly put it back. And that's going to be a point for the Roos, as Duncan and Linton were both there on the block. Chloe Miller back in. Miller to serve. Dayub gets the kill. Far side attack, and pulling the string, taking a little bit off of it and placing it right behind the intersecting line. A good attack by Fultz, as Austin College now just 2 away. Garcia. Abernethy now, as that's gonna be a misplay by the Crusaders, and now Austin College down to just 1 point. So match point on the way for Austin College, and a service error. Dallas staying alive. Larissa Ramirez in for Isabel Garcia. And attack and kill, and that'll do it by Riley Abernethy. And Austin College defeats the Crusaders 25-19 in this set and 3-1. And so, get our end of game stats up here in just a moment, but the Roos of Austin College win both games here today in Irving, forcing the Crusaders on a 1-1 split. And so, with the win, the Roos improve their record to 11-1. With the loss, the Crusaders fall to 5-7. And so, in the SCAC standings, this now is the first loss for the Crusaders in SCAC play. Austin College is now 2-0. As we refresh the numbers for today, the standings. So, of course, this game will update in a little bit. But our SCAC standings now, Austin College 2-0 in the SCAC behind Trinity, who was 3-0. Dallas dropping to 1-1 will be, I think, exactly in the middle of the pack will be the 5th team out of 9. So it'll be Trinity, once the standings update, it'll be Trinity, Austin, Southwestern, and Colorado. Then Dallas, St. Thomas, TLU, Centenary, and Schreiner. And so our 4th set stats for Austin College, they had 30 attacks, 13 kills, 4 attacking errors, and a 300 hitting percentage with 13 assists and 15 digs. 2 solo blocks and 2 block assists for 3 total team blocks, and they had 3 service aces and 3 service errors. On the Crusader side, they had 38 attacks, 10 kills, 8 errors, hitting .053. They had 8 assists and 13 digs, and no blocks or blocking errors in the set. And they had 2 service aces with no service errors. And for the game, Austin College, 163 attacks, 45 kills, 19 errors, and a 160 hitting percentage, with 39 assists and 74 digs, as well as 8 service aces, 12 service errors, and 9 total team blocks, 4 solo and 10 block assists. On the Crusader side, they had 169 attacks, 46 kills, 26 errors, with a 118 hitting percentage, 42 assists with 79 digs, 7 service aces with 8 service errors, and 5 blocks for the game with 1 solo and 8 block assists and a blocking error. Our individual leaders, Riley Abernethy, leading in both attacks and kills with 42 and 15. She also had a .238 hitting percentage second best on her team. And on the Crusader side, Abby Medico with 40 attacks, Cassie Dayub with 13 kills. As on the Austin College side, they also had another player with double-digit kills. It was Victoria Smith with 38 attacks and 12 kills, second best in both categories on the Ruse. And Andriella Wagner with a pretty decent night, not the highest total, but she did hit 417, which is the most for anyone tonight, the best hitting percentage. 12 attacks, 6 kills, and just 1 error. Second most kills for the Crusaders was Deja White with 9, and then Medico with 8 was third. Then we had some splits in the assist department on both sides. Brooklyn Talley with 19 assists, Brianne Sang with 15 for Austin College, and then on the Crusader side, 18 for Abby Medico and 16 for Larissa Ramirez. And then on the defensive side, Elise Annabelle with a good night, 21 digs, most for the Crusaders. Mary Prazik, who was doing everything early in this game. In the first set, she had 14 digs. She was running all over the place. But it started evening out as the game went on. Riley Abernathy also had 20 digs. Brianne Sang and Brooklyn Talley had 9 and 8. And on the Crusader side, Elise Annabelle, as I mentioned, with those 21, but also Abby Medico and Savannah Walker with 11 and 10 digs. And Ilagan and Ramirez each also had 9. And another good defensive game for the Ruse as a whole. They had 9 total team blocks. And Cheyenne D'Antonio was in on 6 of them, as she had 2 solo blocks and 4 block assists, the most in either category by anyone. So, final score again on set wins of 25-16, 26-24, 25-18, and 25-19 for Austin College. They win 3-1, with that 25-16 being the lone win by the Crusaders, which came as the first in the match tonight. And so Dallas, as I mentioned, goes to 5-7 with the loss. Austin College improves to 11-1 with the win. And so our schedule for the near future for the Crusaders, they'll be taking a couple of road trips in the next couple of weeks. They'll be traveling to Shreveport on the 1st and 2nd, playing Southwestern, Shriner, and Trinity. 2 games on Friday and 1 on Saturday. And then the following week on the 8th and 9th, they'll travel to Austin College, where they'll play Colorado, St. Thomas, and Texas Lutheran. 2 games on Friday and 1 on Saturday. So again, our final score, 3-1, Austin College over the Crusaders. And just like to thank all of you for joining us today, whether you were here for just one game or you were here for perhaps all 3. Thank you for Thank you for spending your Saturday with us today, as the Crusaders again go 1-1 in their 2 games. Austin College winning both of their games and Centenary losing both of theirs. And that will be it here from the Mayer Center for tonight. Until next time, I'm Kevin McGurk saying good night, and thank you once again for spending your evening with us.